Welcome to the Ostomy Body Positive Confidence Chronicles, where we highlight inspiring ostomy journeys through education, relatable stories, and expert insights. We also feature companies, products, and professionals improving ostomy care. Please like, share, subscribe, and or join our movement. The Facebook group link is in the description below. Even see, I have technology problems too. I do a little dance. Do you know about my dance?
No, I don't.
Well, it's just you just make it up in your head. You listen to the music in your head and you just kind of because it takes yeah, there you go. It takes a few minutes. There's like a delay from the time that you start the push live on the computer till it shows up in the group, which we're live now. Ah!
Hi.
Hey, so we have Krista Spensley here. Welcome, Krista. Thanks so much for being on and interviewing. Welcome, everybody. Ostomy Body Positive. We haven't had an interview in a while, so I'm super, super grateful that Krista said she would like to come on and answer some questions about your ostomy experience. So cool. Thank you so much. Um, yeah. So why don't we start off? Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are? Who's Krista?
I am a 55-year-old mother of two, happily married, grandma to one.
Nice.
Um, Looking forward to some upcoming weddings in my life coming up in October.
Nice.
Uh, Getting a colostomy and a stoma was definitely not in the plans for this year.
So you just got it this year.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. When was that? And tell us about that.
So, end of April, well, just after Easter, I wasn't feeling too good, and I thought I had just picked something up. I work as a bud tender, and I thought I picked up something from one of my customers.
Yeah.
And called it. I went to work one day and said, I really don't feel well. I think I have to go home.
Yeah.
And I called the doctor's office that afternoon, and they said, come see us the next day. So I did. They said, oh, you have gastroenteritis. Okay, so they gave
Mhm.
me a prescription for anti-nausea meds and sent me home.
No
And
way.
yeah, and then the next morning, they said, if it gets worse, go up to the emergency room. So the next morning, my husband took a look at me and said, I think maybe you better go to the emergency room. You're not looking so good.
Yeah.
I said, oh, okay. So I went to get in our truck and I couldn't walk very well when I tried to stand up. So my son came over to try and help. And he said, no, we're calling an ambulance. We'll just get an ambulance here.
Oh
So
my
I
gosh.
went for a ride to the ER and I remember them saying, oh, you'll be fine. It's just gastroenteritis. And I remember being in the ER a little bit. And then I remember being in the pre op room, meeting the doctor who was going to go do an exploratory surgery because he had told me that they had found that I had diverticulitis
Oh,
and that there had been a rupture. So they were just going to go in and fix that, and all would be good, and I'd see him in a few hours. I woke up nearly 3 weeks later out of the ICU.
no way. Three
Yeah,
weeks?
3 weeks.
What happened in the like what happened?
So my belly was full of infection. I
Oh,
was in full on septic shock. They told my husband I had a 5 to 10% chance of survival.
oh my goodness.
So it was, I didn't know any of this till I woke up.
Wow.
So waking up, not realizing you'd missed 3 weeks,
Yeah,
or that you had been so sick because I have no memory of anything while I was in the ICU,
I'm
thankfully,
sure.
I think.
Yeah.
So after 4 operations to wash everything out, they created a stoma. And here I am a little over 4 months later.
Wow. You've made an incredible comeback in just 4 months.
Yes.
Wow. So how do you feel? How are you feeling today? Like besides the ostomy, like how do you feel?
I feel pretty good. And
Okay.
I am feeling even more grateful than I ever felt before because I'm here and I shouldn't be.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. You must have been so sick. Like, I mean, how were you even functioning?
Well, and that's I didn't know. And they said that this has to have been going on for probably well over a year, that it has been, I've been fighting off an infection. And we had noticed that in my recent blood tests that my blood count was a little high, like I was fighting something, but I'd
Okay.
had no symptoms.
Sure.
So then all of a sudden, when I started to feel nauseous and couldn't keep anything down and had really bad diarrhea, I thought, okay, I need some help with this. I can't seem to shake whatever this bug is.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
it was just basically my body saying, I've had enough. I'm so infected, I can't
Wow.
go any further.
Wow. Well, I'm
So I
happy you're
spent
here. Wow.
45 days in the hospital.
Jeez.
I
Well,
highly do not recommend a 45-day stay.
well, you look great. Like you've overcome a lot and yeah, you definitely, especially like not even knowing you had an issue and then waking up with an ostomy and finding out you've been out of it for 3 weeks. Like, whoa, major mind blow right there.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, so then what do you have? A colostomy or urostomy? I mean,
A,
ileostomy.
a colostomy.
You have a colostomy. Okay. Okay. So how is that going for you then? How is the learning process going?
Um, Pretty well. I have
Good.
probably only had two major blowouts since I got home. In the hospital, we had lots, but I think that was because not every nurse was really properly trained on how to
Yeah.
change them. And at that point, I was not changing them on my own.
Yeah.
I had one experience where the nurse forgot to put the ring on altogether.
Ah.
And then when I called her and said, it seems to be leaking, she was like, well, I don't understand why. So in hindsight, now I do understand why. And
Mhm.
I'm managing it pretty well.
So what's been the biggest challenge that you've had to adjusting to life with an ostomy? And then how have you overcome it?
I think my biggest challenge has been learning exactly what an ostomy
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
and how sick I was. Like
Hmm.
I did not want to accept the fact that I was really that close to not being here anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the mental mind trip.
Yeah, that is too. What about like self-image? Has your self-image changed at all? Because that's a big thing, we go through when we now have this bag attached to us.
I have always been a bigger person. I've always tried to battle it. So I've never had the best self image of
Okay.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
This journey, I've dropped over 35 pounds since it started. So I am making myself go to the pool because I don't want my body to take me out again.
Yeah.
So I, it's forced me to take care of me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah. And like Kelly just said on here, she said it's a learning game. And you're right, it's a learning game, but then also, you're navigating your new body and maybe even so much kind of in a good way, you lost 30 pounds and now it's like, okay, I need to make some changes. Like this has
Yep.
made you see like I need to make some changes. I'm gonna keep going through life, like making myself better because I don't want to be where I was before you know?
Yeah. And I think it's forced me to do that. And
Yeah.
now when I look in a mirror, I don't see the bag. That's not the
Yeah.
first thing I see. I see the fact that my shape is changing and that I look better
Yeah.
and I feel better.
Good. That's amazing. Good. So, you know what? Despite it being horrific, so I mean, there's kind of some positives here. So, is what I'm hearing.
I am only taking the positives from it.
Yeah.
I've joined a lot of the online support groups
Hmm.
and I've had to leave a couple of them too
Hmm.
because I'm not in it for the poor me.
Is there a lot
We
of
all
that?
have a bad day
Yeah.
and everybody needs to vent and everybody needs support.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend all day reading, oh, poor me, because if you don't like it, do something about it.
Well, you're in the right spot because Ostomy Body Positive, we're about that positive mindset. And you said it too that, when we were messaging back and forth that, this feels empowering. And I love that because it's empowering for you. It's empowering for other people to hear your story. And, it's that's what being a community is. And that's what we are. We're a community. And I love that you're part of it. Unfortunately, for, that you had to go through what you had to go through to be here, but, you find your tribe.
Yep.
And then you find your why too. Like, why is this now going to change my outlook looking forward? And you're doing it. So that's awesome. And that was just in April. Like, that's crazy. Like, that is very crazy. So, wow.
Yeah.
I had a car accident in January and I'm still trying to get better from it. So yeah, you're doing really good. I love that. Um, what is a misconception that you think that you've heard of about people with an ostomy, like about living with an ostomy?
Um,
That other people think. Because I mean, I'm sure you had a misconception too, because you woke up with it, you didn't expect it. Like, what is this? Some people don't even know what it is. So,
yeah. Um, I think that I wish that people understood that it doesn't mean that your life is going to stop
mhm.
or that you have to give up anything you love.
Yeah,
Like a huge misconception is you can't go swimming, can't get in the
yeah,
water.
yeah,
For me, getting back in the pool was really, really huge.
yeah,
And I don't want to let the ostomy stop me from doing anything. And I think that's the biggest
yeah,
misconception is that you can't do anything.
yeah.
Because
No,
you can do pretty much everything. If you may have to adapt it, but
right,
yeah,
right. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I couldn't agree more. I lived in a van and just put my ostomy supplies and took off around the country for like 4 years. So yeah,
nice.
and like yeah, Dwayne says, "Oh, you have a wonderful attitude." And Jerlene says, "Life does not stop." Yeah, it does not stop. It keeps going, and that's the thing. Like, if we can't, if we're just gonna, cut everything off and be in that pity party, yeah, we're not going to see all that life has to give us. And and it's important to show other people that may be coming up getting an ostomy, especially like younger people, well, all people really, that they too can go do this. So like, I think your story is like the epitome of it. um the Colonel says, regardless how long one has an ostomy, all ostomates can learn from one another, which is true. He says, I have had my stoma for 32 years, but I'm always open to learning new ways to improve my quality of life. So very true, very true. And we're constantly changing, we're constantly growing and self-developing. And, having an ostomy is just like, one little like hiccup, that's it. So, and then Jason said, this is a great community to learn and grow. And Lisa says, so true. You learn from one another. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. What is a piece of advice or tip that's made managing your ostomy easier on a day-to-day basis?
I think the best piece that I have learned is that every ostomate is different. What
Yeah,
works for one person may not work for another. And the key is to finding your own way and discover what makes you feel comfortable.
100%.
Um, for me, as important as that is having the people that support you,
Yeah.
my husband and my family have been behind me 100%. I have a fabulous group of girlfriends that I think they know as much about ostomies now as I do. And they made it easier for me to accept. And I think that's it. You have to accept where you're at,
Yeah.
take it day by day, and live your life with gratitude.
Yeah. That's gratitude is everything. I truly believe that, like, if you can't be grateful, God is not going to bless you with more until you're thankful for what you have and you're grateful for what you have in your life as it sits right now. And that's
Yeah.
really important that you had such a great support system, like your husband, your family, like your girlfriends. That's amazing, because it is hard when people don't understand what it is you're going through. Some people back away and they get afraid. So to have that many people in your corner is super good. I think that's probably why your attitude's so good, because you
Yeah,
have those great people in your life. That's amazing.
I certainly do.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot. And your group is one of the groups that I actually get helpful tips from. And
Yeah.
I like seeing people's stories in there because I'm hopeful to have a reversal. We don't know for sure if it can
Okay.
be done, and it'll be another major open surgery.
Right.
And it's 12 to 18 months out, but that is my goal, is to get
Yeah.
there and hopefully to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you do, great. And if you don't, I think your attitude's going to be just the same because you're resilient. So,
You
yeah.
have to be.
Yep. And then Jolene says, after having my ostomy 55 years, I've learned that life happens, but we are more than our ostomy. Live, be, and do. Yes, you are so right, Jolene. She's great. She's a really good inspiration too. Like I love seeing her photos and all that. So that's what this is about. It's community, helping people, showing people, advocating, and just really telling our stories. And I love that you were willing to come on and tell your story and talk about it. What's another last piece of advice or tip or anything else that you can think of that you'd want to say to somebody, like maybe even somebody who's like new, like somebody who's like scared to get an ostomy or thinking that the stigma is going to hold them back. What would you say to them?
Take it day by day and find the little things that make you happy. Like
Mhm.
find the clothes that make you feel
Yeah,
good.
that's important.
For me, sitting outside and putting my feet in the grass and just enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
Just take some time and accept you and accept the help if you've got it. And if you don't have it, find a group to help you.
Yeah, very important because right, not everybody, like I said, not everybody has that. So yes, finding these groups that are supportive, is great. Finding the people that are, can relate and then people that can help you and you can help them because there's so many tips and like hacks that we've all had on here. And I mean, I've learned so much. And now when somebody calls me, I can tell them things that I've learned from watching this, or from being on in this group or being the admin of this group. And so I'm learning so much. Like there's just so much to learn, which is part of that thing too, is like the ostomy, now having an ostomy nurse or ostomy nurses that are so knowledgeable. I mean, there's plenty of them, but then there's not in some cases too. And so sometimes we just have to educate them as well. So, yeah.
Well, and I'm in Canada, I'm in Alberta.
Okay.
So the nurse caring for you 90% of your stay is not an ostomy nurse.
Okay.
The ostomy nurse comes in and sees you once a day or once every couple days when they're
Okay.
in.
Yeah,
It's just a regular nurse, and it's
sure.
a lot of them, it's not their specialty,
Right, right.
So you got to learn. I've learned lots of tricks and tips from some people say put your ring on wet, some say put it on dry. It
Mm.
just, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
do what works for you,
It works
find
for
what
you.
works for you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always different from person to person. So,
Yeah.
all right. One last spring up. I didn't prepare you for this question.
Okay.
So if let me see, let me find which one I want to say. If I think I always go with this one, so but I like it. If your ostomy could talk, what would you think it would say about your journey together? Coming from right from your stoma.
Hmm.
I tell you it's on
It's
the
been
spot.
it's been a groovy ride so far.
Yeah, right. Good, good. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on and letting me record this. I'm gonna eventually get these on like a YouTube so that I can share them in the group more because otherwise they go away after like 30
Yeah.
days. And so I have a repository of them and I'm gonna start getting those out really soon. So I thank you for being a part of this. And yeah, thank you so much.
All right.
You're
Thank
such a
you.
positive inspiration. I love it.
Have a great day.
You too.